straight ahead on your Storm Center 17 news at noon. Let the shopping begin. Black Friday is well underway, but some shoppers are battling over bargains. Why Black Friday is getting aggressive. Plus, he knows who's been naughty and nice, but he doesn't know who's going to be sick. Why Santa says he should be on a high priority list when it comes to the H1N1 vaccine. Good afternoon. I'm Sheena Elzy. Tara Barrett is off today. Thanks for joining me. Your news at noon starts now.
This is your local news on Storm Center 17 at noon.
Ready, set, shop. Shoppers pour into the stores early this morning and make a dash for the Black Friday deals. This was the scene this morning as shoppers filled local stores trying to get those day after Thanksgiving bargains. We were there live as Kmart opened their doors at 6 a.m. in Decatur, but shoppers were lined up way before then. Many shoppers stayed up all night so they can be the first in line. Managers passed out numbers to the first few people for those big ticket items, but some managers say some items were already starting to sell out. But everything ran smoothly as they opened their doors. But in Springfield, it was a different story. Police were called to the scene of a local Toys R Us. The store in Springfield opened at midnight, and just 1 minute after they opened their doors, police were already called out. Shoppers say people were fighting just to get in the door.
And a lot of people had been here for a while, so when we got around the corner, there were several police officers here trying to break up the crowd, but then the store just let everybody in, so people were very upset.
And about an hour later, as you can see, there was still a line. Police were also called to a Toys R Us in Champaign, and there were reports of fights at a Walmart in Decatur early this morning. So far, though, there have been no reports of any arrests, and police say no one was seriously hurt. And as shoppers battle it out for the best deals, some have turned Black Friday into an all-out contact sport. Our Gordon Graham explains why when it comes to shopping, people are getting aggressive.
Well, if the crowds here at White Oaks Mall are any indication, retail sales on this Black Friday have gotten off to a strong start. However, the crowds got a little testy this morning at Toys R Us.
I think people are just a little bit too greedy. I think they're taking it way too serious, you know. Christmas is more, there's more about Christmas than that.
Some moms are really crazy, and I think it's kind of ridiculous that they want to go after the good deals that bad, but because to compensate, they're going to have some hospital bills and stuff now to compensate for the $3 or $4 they might have saved to get a present.
I don't think they should fight over it. As I said, if I had to fight for it, I wouldn't bother.
In Springfield, I'm Gordon Graham reporting your local news on Storm Center 17.
Well, shoppers cry false advertising after waiting outside at Old Navy to open its doors. The Old Navy ad for Black Friday said it would open their doors at 3 a.m. Customers were lined up there hours before, but the Old Navy in Forsyth did not open until 5 o'clock this morning. Shoppers called us outraged about the ad, so we called the store manager. She says the customers didn't check the fine print. On the very bottom of the ad, it says to check your local store. And she says they didn't open their doors at 3 because they're located inside the mall. And she says the mall didn't open up the doors for their employees until 5. Signs were posted ahead of time, but so far, she says, they've taken thousands of phone calls about all the confusion. And if you haven't hit any of the stores yet, you might want to wait to go online. This Monday is Cyber Monday. It's considered one of the busiest shopping days online, and retailers are getting web ready. Just like Black Friday, they're offering big bargains and coupons, including free shipping and layaway on some sites. Extra patrols are hitting the roads this weekend, cracking down on drunk drivers, and they've already made several arrests. State police conducted a no-refusal enforcement detail in Sangamon County. That means if you refuse a breathalyzer test, police would get you a warrant and force you to undergo testing. Troopers made 4 DUI arrests Wednesday night. Of those, 2 refused testing and 1 driver underwent a court-ordered breath test. The other had a court-ordered blood draw. Troopers also issued a total of 16 tickets to those DUI suspects last night. A Decatur man is sentenced for beating his mother. 33-year-old Ricky Dwayne Cox pleaded guilty to 1 count of aggravated battery to a senior citizen. Police say he attacked his 70-year-old mother in her home in August. Cox was sentenced to 4 years in prison. Hospital personnel contacted police about suspected abuse after Cox's mother was admitted to the hospital. She eventually told police her son had beaten her. Well, a Chicago teenager wanted for 2 murders has been arrested in Urbana. The Champaign County Sheriff's Department says members of the Street Crimes Unit and the U.S. Marshals Service found 18-year-old Timothy Lightfoot late Tuesday. Police say a tip led to his arrest. Lightfoot was wanted on 2 warrants in Chicago, charging him with first-degree murder. The outbreak of the H1N1 virus is becoming dangerous and more deadly. The state health department says the number of people hospitalized from the H1N1 flu keeps going up. In Illinois, just more than 2,000 people have ended up in the hospital since April. This week, there were 8 new deaths and 389 hospitalizations connected to the virus. That brings the death toll to 64 in Illinois. Nearly 2 million doses of the H1N1 vaccine have been shipped to Illinois. Well, he sees you when you're sleeping, and unfortunately, he might catch your cough when you're awake. The Mall Santas of America are on high alert for the H1N1 virus. A group called Santa America is calling for Santas to be designated high priority for the H1N1 vaccine. That's along with pregnant women and young children. It's not just because Santas are around kids with runny noses. An estimated 2/3 of Santas are overweight, and some experts say that could be a risk factor for flu complications. Well, up next, we'll see if you can expect a warm-up for your weekend, and later find out what the top 10 worst toys are and why experts say your kids should not be playing with them. Well, your children may be busy making their list for Santa right now, but there are some toys that a group says they should leave off the list. The organization World Against Toys Causing Harm has released this year's top 10 worst toys.
Serious puncture wounds.
The movie Wolverine may have been a hit with teens and adults, but the action figure for kids as young as 4 made the list because the slashing claws don't retract. Disney's Wall-E foam rocket launcher shoots 20 feet in the air, but the high-speed launch could send the missile into a child's face. Same goes for the small darts on the Spy Gear Viper blaster. The trick handle or elastic band that helps kids perform tricks on the Moonboard Pogo board could snap back if let go, causing impact injuries.
Essentially a spike, just like that.
The wheels on the Caterpillar Rugged Mini pose a potential harm if they come off. Problems could add up for Curious George's first counting book if the metal rod and 5 wooden beads detach from the book. He saves Gotham City from crime, but Batman's ears are considered dangerous because they're too pointy and could cause puncture wounds.
At first glance, wouldn't think that there's anything particularly wrong with it.
But inside this Lots of Love baby's bathtub are several small parts that are considered choking hazards. The small drumsticks on the Just Kids Junior musical instruments can also cause a child to choke if put in their mouth. Finally, parents should keep an eye on kids walking with this Poochie pup. The long leash is too long and could strangle young ones.
Coming up on News Center 17 at noon, we'll have a sneak peek at what's hitting the silver screen this weekend. But first, here's a look at your local markets. Well, a couple of family-friendly films and a few films not so friendly are out in theaters this weekend. Mark Barger gives us a sneak peek in the box office preview.
I didn't know they could afford to hire supermodels here.
First he was a sweat hog, then a wild hog. Now John Travolta is one of the old dogs. That's the name of his new comedy with Robin Williams. They play best friends. One's a lifelong bachelor, the other's a divorced guy, suddenly entrusted with caring for 6-year-old twins. That's at the same time they're preparing for the biggest business deal of their careers. Old Dogs is rated PG.
A final look at your forecast when we come back, but for now, here's a look at your community calendar. And it's a perfect day, too.
Yeah, a lot of sunshine, highs in the upper 40s. Tomorrow will be warmer. Good shape.
All right, great. I think I'm going to get out this weekend.
Good idea.
All right, join us back here at 5 and 6. We'll see you later.